think all the things related to the Article 5 of MOU. The Article 5 of MOU between Iran and the United States explicitly mentioned that the arrangement of passing through Strait of Hormuz would be determined by Tehran decision takers. What we can see that during the recent weeks, actually, the United States tried to provide another corridor near side the coastline of Oman to somehow ditch out the whole process against its commitments in the MOU that leads to the raising tension between Tehran and Washington. The really important thing for I think all the viewers is that I think based on the existential threat felt in Tehran after the recent strikes, especially after the 28th February, Tehran understands that passing through the Strait of Hormuz is a kind of source for its neighboring bases with regarding its United States bases all around the region. Therefore, it would not let this kind of attack or threats raise again against Tehran. Therefore, they try, and I think they are prepared even for war, for more regional and more higher scale war, to avoid these kind of things. And it is really important for them, for our friends, for a neighbor, and even for the United States to understand that Iran is ready to again initiate war, unless that its comments and its worries and concerns addressed through the Strait of Hormuz.
And so, is Trump's claim that Hormuz is open accurate from Tehran's view and the Islamabad Memorandum?
When you're facing with some kind of person in an Oval Office in Washington, he claims different things. From its internal issues to external issues, I think it's not really rational, most of it. You can see that there are a list of its claim from changing regime in Tehran, eliminating their military power, opening up the Strait of Hormuz even before the signing of MOU. They always say that there are a long list of false claims related to Donald Trump. The very obvious sign of blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is the raising of oil price, is the open source data that actually ships return their routes can't pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And but one of the main reasons for the United States to sign this kind of MOU with Iran is to opening the Strait of Hormuz. Therefore, if it's open, there should be no any kind of reason to signing this kind of MOU with Tehran. I think most of its claim is a kind of psychopathic one, and nobody other than himself or his followers or his minion can understand it. But based on facts, based on open source data, currently we can see that there is a blockade exists in the Strait of Hormuz, other than some specific ships that Tehran provides its assurance to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
And so, just what options does Iran have if Gulf states still keep hosting the US forces?
I think we are reaching to a kind of non-returning point for all the region to decide whether they wanted to host American bases with the goal or with the mirage of providing security, but we can see that in the actual world, the United States bases only used for the national interest of United States and Israel, of course, and actually made them as a target for any foreigner or for any country just like Iran that faced with unprovoked attack after the recent war. In the other hand, I think we can see the raising, this kind of ideas and trend in Middle East and in the west part of Asia, that we can see that there are raising understanding exists between different regions in the countries in the region, that we can reach some kind of independent, autonomous strategic partner in security term, with each other, because this kind of countries living together for thousands of years without any problem. And we think if they understand that there would be no foreign power to guarantee their security, it would pave the way for this kind of dialogue we received. And I think it was also explicitly mentioned in media that Tehran tried to provide a bilateral negotiation with different partners within the region to reach these kind of things. But for Tehran, I think I wanted to mention it again that due to the existential threats that felt after the 28th February attack against its motherland that caused civilian loss, in one case more than 168 children in Minam school. Sorry, I think Tehran tried to do whatever it means and what it can to never let this kind of threats happen again. Therefore, there will be no way to accept or to tolerate any kind of this kind of security threat in a military term again, and among its neighbors.
And Doctor, what do you see for future of these escalations? Is there a possibility for a return to diplomacy, and what role can Qatar and Pakistan play?
It's a hard question to, when you are facing with the dynamism of the failed diplomatic mission, and the most, unprobable element in this thing and this story is the Trump. I think it's really depends on Trump's idea and the administration of United States that do they want to start another round of escalation, enter another quagmire just like Iraq 2003, and make the chance for any operational ground operation or capture some islands of Iran that by based on different sources, even the Americans admitted that there is no low cost option for them. On the other hand, if they wanted to choose diplomacy, that is the cost benefit and probably it's more rational option. They should accept some terms. They should accept some elements of the Iranian power within the Strait of Hormuz and within the neighboring one. Thanks to what they've done in 28th of February, there is no easy option for Trump and hold its administration. This is what they've done based on Israel first policy. If they wanted to, return to, for example, 27th of February or the past month, it's a non-return. It's no return port, as I mentioned earlier. But I think that the diplomatic way, the Qatar, Pakistan, all the region wanted to reach a kind of peace and following development, prosperity, and anything like that. But Iran, I think it's a kind of understandable argument that there would be no peace even if every party, every country within the region reach a kind of peace. There would be no security other than every partner and the countries within the region feel the security. Therefore, it's hard to predict that how could happen in the future, because the most important actor that we wanted to decide to raising tension or de-escalate the whole kind of things is Trump and its administration. Therefore, I think the ball is in their court. That how do they decide? But as my knowledge goes, and based my observation about Tehran, they are ready to feel the cost of the war in the full scale one, because, as I mentioned multiple times in the same interview, they felt existential threats, and they are ready to pay costs to just neutralize this kind of threat.